Not many people know this, but if you want an easy win in Fortnite, play a mode you never play. I play zero build 99.9% of the time, but yesterday one of my followers asked me to play solo builds, and what followed was possibly the worst building performance you'll ever see. Anyway, I enjoy zero build. It's just what I'm used to. I like the movement, the positioning, the aiming, all the things that don't involve panic building a small apartment block in 2 seconds. But every now and then, and when I say every now and then, I mean something like once every 6 months, I'll convince myself that I need to learn to build, so I'll jump into solo's build match, and weirdly enough, when I do that, I always get a win, but not by building. Sometimes it takes a few games, but quite often the win actually comes in the very first match. Now, I'm not saying this is guaranteed. You still have to play the game properly, have some awareness, rotate well, and do not do anything completely ridiculous. But it's surprising how often it works. So yesterday I thought, okay, let's go and do the builds match for that follower. I haven't played builds in ages. It should be easy enough. Except I'd actually forgotten something. I had recently played build duos with a friend who could build very well, which actually meant the matchmaking system probably remembered that little detail. So the lobby wasn't quite as forgiving as it might have been otherwise. And when I say I don't build, I really mean I don't build. When you watch this video, you will probably laugh at my absolutely horrendous attempts at boxing up. At one point, I put ramps over my head and then immediately start bashing my way out of them. Because honestly, it's quicker for me to destroy my own builds than it is to try and remember how editing works, even with simple edit turned on, which apparently is still too complicated for someone who spends their life in zero build. Watching it back, I actually found it quite amusing. Even when I was playing it, I was thinking, what on earth am I doing? My entire strategy basically became box myself in, stay alive, and hope the last 2 players eliminate each other. Which, to be fair, is perfectly respectable survival tactic. Eventually it comes down to the final 2, and the last player I'm up against can actually build reasonably well. Well, reasonably well in my book. Not a professional skyscraper architect or anything like that, but definitely a lot better than me. He starts ramping up above me, trying to take high ground, and that's when I realise something important. I don't need to outbuild him. I just need to get him down to the ground. Because the moment he realises I don't build, he's going to assume I'm new. And the moment somebody thinks you're new in Fortnite, they become very confident. Sometimes a little too confident. So I run away from the build fight. Fortunately, he loses sight of me, which helps enormously. I use a tree for cover, and then I start shooting at his builds from the ground without building back, which sends a very clear message. This player has absolutely no idea how to build. And sure enough, he takes the bait. He pushes, probably thinking, oh yes, easy elimination. Unfortunately for him, while I may not build, I do know how to aim. So when he finally drops down and takes the fight, it doesn't last very long. And just like that, he's sent straight back to the lobby. And that, oddly enough, dear listener, is how Zero Build Player wins a builds match, by doing almost no building whatsoever. Sometimes in Fortnite, the best strategy is simply letting the other player believe they've already won.